Hi YouTube, it's me, Lil Expert. You probably noticed the background from my previous video, not the back to school haul, but the what video was that? I was in this room for the topic train video, and then it was another video I was in for, but I don't remember. Anyway, so as y'all have read in the title description, it's the story time video about the time that I nearly died. Okay, just a shout out to Jade Walker, which is an active subscriber. Shout out to Jade. Hey Jade, because she gave me a suggestion about my lighting. She was telling me that I need to work on that. So shout out to Jade for that. Finally somebody told me something about that. But anyway, so let's get straight onto the video. I'm sorry. So, setting is literally the worst part of the story time because I was on vacation while this happened. So, yeah, I almost died on vacation. What happened? I was going up to Philadelphia with my family, and I was, at the time, I might have been like 9. And I was 9 or 10, and I was going up with it was me, my little sister, who might have been like 3 or 4 at the time, my cousin, who might have been like 6 or 7, and then my sister's mom and my dad. So we were all in one car, and we had a fairly big car. It was a 3-row, or so. It wasn't like we were cramped together, but we were, ready to get out the car. So I remember, like we had driven and we got in the house and we saw like my cousins, and just so happened that my uncle's son, which is my cousin, he is the same age as my cousin that came from Ohio with us, and then my cousin, their daughter, is the same age as my sister. So yeah, and then they live with their dad and their mom. So we get there, whatever, we're really excited, and we ran downstairs because my dad was catching up with his cousin, and, sister mom was catching up with my auntie. We just kind of, went off to their basement or whatever. So I remember, first of all, they had a really big house. Their house is huge. So we got down to the basement, and we came up with a really dumb idea. So the boys, which were the same age, were like throwing like the little plastic balls at us, and so we just got a grand idea to throw them back. Like, we're like, oh, let's make this into a game where Lexi nearly dies. But so we were like, yeah, let's play throw balls at people. So we were playing for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I remember my 2 cousins had whispered something to each other, and they giggled. But I really didn't think anything of it. Like, I've been in the car for 8 hours with these 2 kids and giggling. Like, at this point, I just zoned it out. So that's when he went, like, somewhere else. And so my uncle, when you walk down the stairs, there's this big, like, main part or whatever. And then just so happens, there's like little branches, like little doors, and you can go into other places or whatever. There's like closets and stuff. Now, it just so happens, and you can see everything from the main door. Now, there's this little like cutoff where you have to like go straight and then turn. And from that little like, as soon as you turn the corner, nobody can see you. No matter where they are, nobody can see you. So there were 2 doors back there. So there's more doors back there. One led outside, and then one led to like another area. Now, I had never been in that little area because it was just always dark, and I was always scared. Well, anyways, we're still playing the game or whatever, and it just happens that my cousin comes out of that little cutoff room with a big basketball. Now, my uncle is a basketball coach. So he has like the $60, $70 basketballs. And so I remember it was like a really big one, really heavy. And I remember my cousin just hurled it at me, and it hurt so bad. Like, he literally threw it right in my stomach. If you've ever been through, it just felt like he threw a brick in my stomach. It hurt so bad. So I was really small back then. And I kind of like leaned back because the ball, like the force of the ball like kind of knocked me backwards a little bit. And I realized like my little sister, who was 3 at the time and very small, was right behind me. And I'm like, I can't fall back on her, because if I fall back on her, she's gonna get squashed. So I kind of like tried to like tip myself back up forward, and I ended up tipping myself not up enough to be standing up straight, but enough to go forward and fall on my face. Well, it just so happened that where I had fallen at, there was a foosball table, and it did not have a grip on it. So, you know, return the characters right there. It cut through my leg. At the time, I was like down on the ground like this. Like, I really wasn't paying attention. I kind of gave him like a mean stare, but I wasn't paying attention to my leg. And they're like, and I'm just like, and they're like, and I'm like, what? And so, like, what are you guys talking about? So then my cousin, he was like, look at your leg. I'm like, oh my God. There was blood gushing out of it. Like, my tissue was coming out of my leg. I could see my bone. It was utterly disgusting. It was really nasty. So, I go upstairs, and from the way that their living area / movie TV room, whatever, is set up, when you come up the stairs, there's like a little area that you can get in at, but there's mainly like couches on the back row, and then the TV is up there. So from where I had come upstairs, and my dad couldn't see me, I kind of like walked, like I didn't walk completely around him because I didn't want him to see me yet. I was like, Dad, I kind of hurt myself, and he was like, I told y'all to stop playing. And so he was like, come here so I can see it. And I kind of like slowly walked around the couch until I was in front of him, and he just opened his mouth. Everybody that was on that couch just widely opened their mouth. And we're like, oh my God, you know, let's get to the hospital, all this other stuff. And I'm just like I thought I just needed a Band-Aid. I was pretty clueless at that point. Like, I'm like, I thought a Band-Aid was cured. So my dad, he's like, you know, grab the keys. He's talking to my sister, and I'm like, we gotta go. She's like, I can't find the keys. You know, everybody's freaking out. Everybody's running around. The kids at that time, my sister and my cousin, that's a girl, they had come up. The boys were like hiding in the basement. They knew they were in trouble. They were like hiding in the basement. The girls came upstairs, you know, and they're rubbing my shoulders, doing, you know, little comforting girly stuff. And I remember, like, my dad, he came with his white towel, and I'm like, why white? Like, you know blood is going to get all over the towel. But I, like, covered up the hole because it was literally, like, when I say there was a hole in my skin, there was literally a hole in my leg right here. So I legit just put it over, like, I'm following whatever they're telling me to do. I don't know what to do. So I just, you know, do whatever they tell me to do. So, let's see. That's when I was like, you know what? Whatever. Just jump in my car. I'll take you. So she, you know, we jump in her car. Now, it just so happens, and it was fun all up until I was about to die. This was like when we was Philly, this was like the best part. But when I died, it was horrible. My auntie and my uncle, my cousins, they lived literally on maybe the steepest hill in Philadelphia. When I say you have to, like, if your car was about to break down, that would be the hill that you legit would just get out and walk on. Because in the winter, you know, it's just, anyway, it's happening in the middle of the winter. So, literally, she was probably used to it, but we weren't. Literally, her house all the way up here, and we're just, like, literally slipping down this hill. And she's, like, pressing the brakes, and pressing the brakes, and pressing the brakes. You know, she'll put the gas on and then press the brakes. So, it's taking her really slow because she doesn't want to crash into the person that's in front of her. Eventually, we get to the hospital. I want to say that the hospital was, like, Brooksville or something like that. I started with a B. Or Baileyville or something like that. I remember getting to the house. To the hospital. What am I saying? I remember getting to the hospital. And, you know, we waited there. And it was like that night. For some reason, I don't know what it was about that night. But it was like, so many people in there. Luckily, there were a lot of nurses underneath. So we got in and out really quickly. The nurse is the problem. The nurse right here. She's the problem. So, we get into the exam room, whatever. She's like, oh yeah, you're going to need about 7 to 8 stitches. I'm like, oh, Like, at the time, I didn't know what that is. I'm like, Dad, what is that? He's like, yeah, that's just when they sew your skin up. I'm like, just when they sew your skin up? Like, what do you mean, just when they sew your skin up? You're confusing me. Like, they're about to put a needle through my leg. What do you mean, just? Like, are you crazy? So, I remember, like, he and the nurse had a small talk or whatever. She's like, the nurse was asking her normal questions, and they had to put a numbing in me before they could actually sew me up. They had to put a numbing in me. And I remember, like, she had to call in 3 other nurses because I kept on squirming. I would not sit still. That needle, oh my God, that needle looked like the Eiffel Tower. It was huge. That needle was huge. So, I'm just like, you're not putting that in me. Like, I don't know. You might have to find an alternative. But you're not putting that thing in. Like, you're crazy. Like, you're a psycho if you think you're about to put that needle inside of my body. So, that's when, basically, eventually they got me down enough. Like, she literally had, like, they had to, like, I don't know what they did. They had, like, angled my body a certain way so I couldn't move and strapped me down. I felt like a criminal. About to be, like, on what do you call that bed? When they shock you to death. I felt like I was on that. Anyway, so eventually, fast forward, they get me on to, they get stitches in my body. I'm feeling, like, really woozy because it's numbing. I thought it would only numb my leg. It legit numbed my entire body. So, I got numbed up, and she was like, okay, I just want you to stay here for a minute until, this, everything settles in or whatever. So we're sitting there, and the nurse walks over to my dad, and she sniffs him. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I love men with cologne, and I'm just like, yeah. But does it have to be my father? Like, and then she got onto the topic of things that she told me her life story. And I didn't even care for real. She told me about how her husband doesn't want to wear cologne. And she got to telling us her entire life story. And nobody was even for real listening. My dad just nodded and I'm just aggravated because I want to go home and yell at my cousins. So, eventually my dad was like, alright, we gotta go. So the nurse was like, okay, my dad signs papers or whatever. And my uncle comes to pick us up. So I got to their house. Now they have like 6 flights of stairs in their house. I get to their house and I'm going up the stairs to where like my guest bedroom was at. And my leg was numb and I forgot all about it. Everybody forgot about it. And I was kind of like going up the stairs on my own. And I couldn't feel my left leg. I remember falling downstairs and I just laid there. Because like it was the middle of the night. Everybody was asleep. And I remember I just laid there because I couldn't get up the stairs. And I didn't want to cry out because everybody was sleeping. Eventually the morning came. Somebody saw me, picked me up. But that is the lesson learned. Don't fall on a foosball table. Or else you'll end up in a situation with me with an internal scar. So, thank you all for watching this story time video. Make sure you comment down below suggestions for future videos. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like my videos. And make sure you share it with everybody else. Thank you. XOXO. Lexi.